Hello, good evening and welcome to UPfront. My name is Raymond Acquah. Today, perhaps the biggest fight started in 2017 and given a massive boost. Are we losing the fight against illegal mining in the Republic of Ghana? After this break, the ministry has been summoned to answer to this question. You're welcome back. This is UPfront. My name is Raymond Acquah. It was a fight that started with the executive president indicating to everybody in this country that he is putting his presidency on the line. And we're told clearly that no matter what, we will rid the state of illegal mining, that is destroying water bodies and making it impossible for us to even access cheaper water. I'm sure you've heard the Ghana Water Company come up with the indication that part of the reasons for the recent call for increase in the tariff is because of the destruction of water bodies and the Galamsey and its cost and the push is put into how we get water and clean water from the various sources. So regardless of where you are, it appears that either you are paying more for it or suffering from Galamsey. But are we winning the fight or we are losing the fight against Galamsey? What will be the legacy of this government if it ends up that we are still not on top of this fight against Galamsey? My guest today is from that ministry charged with the responsibility of making sure there isn't Galamsey in the country. How have they been delivering on that and many others? I'm talking about the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, and Deputy Minister and Member of Parliament, George Mreku Duka, is my guest. Honorable, you're welcome to UPfront.
Thank you.
I hope you are doing well.
A pleasure.
When you were on the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, you regularly told us about how this issue of Galamsey ought to be dealt with and properly fought. Now that you are minister in this particular ministry, have you seen that the reality on the ground looks like government will not win this fight? And in fact, government is losing the fight. At least the evidence of the ground suggests that, isn't it?
Let me say a warm regards to your cherished viewers and listeners, and also a pleasure serving on your show, and commend you for the effort you're making to, in a way, sensitize Ghanaians on the need for us to collectively fight this Galamsey. First, you need to understand that it's not an event kind of scenario.
It's a continuous fight.
It's a fight. You have a situation where the Operation Hall 2 gets people mining in an area arrested or ransacked, and unfortunately another group also come back to mine. Okay. Obviously, you not have that leisure to get the place reclaimed. You need to obviously get these people out.
I get your point.
Of the scene before you can tackle the reclamation. If they had left the place without coming back, we could have said, okay,
then reclamation is going on.
But so you need to really get the people off the base before you can talk of the reclamation.
There were some stories in the major dailies about seized shamfans, and you mentioned a huge number of them. 800 of them. Are there still shamfans on water bodies as we speak in some mining communities as we speak?
Interesting question. You know, this shamfan per the pocket of the Galamseyers doesn't cost much
compared to
cost of excavator and all that. They can just organize 3,000 cedis and get the shamfan put on the river body. They can easily also go for an installment payment mechanism from the those who assemble this shamfan. So you get all these shamfan destroyed. The next day they are able to go back and get another shamfan and back to the river. And one interesting thing is they wait and strategically start work at night when the military after patrolling, and security wise they may not.
But we have always known this, right?
Yes.
I remember after Vanguard's first operation, it was the same thing that was said about their operations, that they wait for them to leave, then they actually operate, mostly in the night. So it's not new.
So that is
why haven't we stopped that?
That is why now we have, as a country, positioned the Naval Command to be permanently patrolling the river bodies.
We said that 3 years ago.
I am saying I'm now responsible for mining, as given the authority to me by my sector minister, that I should be responsible and report to him accordingly.
Okay.
So I am saying that now the Naval Command, possibly they were not having the logistics at that time. Now we've given them boats, speed boats. Now we're recruiting more river guards or river wardens who will also augment the strength of the Naval Command. We also erecting security posts, advantage points, where they will be intermittently reporting to. We've also set up a situational room. I think we need to practically go out of the jurisdictions of Accra and get to the field, and also show you some measures we've taken, practical measures.
Actually, we are people we have deployed ahead of your people to actually check this. They are constantly on the ground.
Yeah.
Is the reason why I know that despite having to say that some 800 Shamfans have been pulled off, we have drones today. They're actually saying that in Abompe, Abesua, in Tabanu, Beposo, Mankaso, in the Achuman Ponua area, then Achuman Wabiaja districts, as we speak today, there is still a lot of Shamfans or water bodies as we speak.
As I speak on your show today, I can also confidently tell you that the Operation Hall 2 and the Naval Command are on the ground.
So there's no Shamfan.
I wouldn't say so. Why would I say so?
But their business is to get them off there.
I'm happy to hear some of this comments. It means people are getting to understand the education and the sensitization that we've been embarking on. That it's not it doesn't fall under the remit of government alone to fight this menace.
It's actually to the core of whether or not what government has been doing has been yielding any results at all.
It is to the core.
Because if there are still Shamfans on the places I just mentioned,
it is to the core.
Tells us that perhaps we have not done anything.
It is to the core of Ghanaians to understand that we have that mandate to make citizens arrest.
The president put his presidency on the line.
Yes.
That was to say, I will do everything to make sure this is resolved. If after 6 years, we are now opening up to everybody to participate in the call, it's not a sign that we have failed.
I think you're not really understanding the point and even the contributions you yourself and your station have been making.
Oh, of course, we're very much in the lead on the media campaign against Galamsey.
You were, and now still, even what you have read to me,
shows that we are on the ground.
We'll take the coordinates, follow them up, and these are the things that we want from people. That yes, we're not saying we've fought every battle,
but
and we finished and cleared everybody.
Naval officers on these water bodies, if they are there, if they are in the areas, if they are actually mounted these stations, how come we have information that they are not dealing with?
Raymond, we have River Cobra, we have River Tano, we have Brim, we have Bonsa, we have other river bodies. You cannot tell me that the naval base or the naval command or the military can be everywhere at the same time.
Oh, they cannot?
They cannot. So that is the truth.
So how many water bodies are they covering as we speak?
As I speak with you, we are on Ancobra. Ancobra, I can tell you, a few days ahead will be better, because we're taking from the source to the end, making sure we clear.
So is it one water body at a time?
Intermittently, I joined a team to clear some people from the offing. I was on the river myself with a team, and luckily for me, some of your team members were there with us on the offing. You know, where people were in a way getting things done in their own way. We got most of them arrested. Most of them have been sent to court, and the law will take it on course. So you cannot be everywhere. That is why it is important for stakeholders, I mean opinion leaders, to also contribute towards this fight.
No, beginning of this conversation, you said you have deployed to the various water bodies where the marine police, right? Is it your case that they are actually doing a section of the water bodies, or they are dealing with all of it at the same time? Because without a coordinated effort, I'm sure they'll be moving from one place to the other, which is what has happened in times past.
The intention is to protect all the river bodies of this country. That is the intention.
Yeah, but I mean, in reality, what are they doing?
In reality, they are patrolling the river bodies.
All of them at the same time?
No, you cannot do all of them at the same time.
Really?
So you need to, I may not be able to
How many of these boats do we have so that we know the scope of their work?
If you let me land, I may not be openly declare the modus operandi of the military on air, but I can confidently tell you that the military is up to task and abreast of the issues on the ground.
Like they did under the Vanguard operation?
No, they
like they did under Halt 1.
We having different, modus operandi.
Than what was under Vanguard?
I cannot explain the details here, but I'm saying that their modus operandi are different.
If you are telling somebody about the success so far, what percentage of the job has been done?
Yesterday, I had an interview on one of your sister stations, and he asked the same question, and that percentage. I said, oh, is percentage really needed and necessary? The extent of the success so far? I don't think so. What I want to see is...
Because it's very low.
My river, no. I mean, I've never graded myself in anything that I do.
But I'm not asking you to do it because you are in the ministry. I'm asking that when you, from a very technical view, assess the kind of work done so far, what percentage of the job has been cleared? What percentage of our fight of illegal mining has been completed, so we know the extent of success we are talking about here, what is left, and what we can do going forward. That's what we're asking. We're not asking you to just guess the percentage. We are asking, when you do the very tabulation of what it was and what has been done so far, what have we achieved? So that's really the question, the crux of it actually.
So looking at the measures we've put in place, looking at the strategies, strategic processes we've put in place, like making sure that Naval Command, we have them permanently on the river bodies, making sure we procure river boats for them, making sure we have security posts, advantage points, making sure that we have river guards who will also be permanently 24/7 patrolling the river bodies, making sure that all earth-moving machines are tracked and reported at the situational room, making sure that even people who will be patrolling these river bodies are camped, like having body cam as part of their uniform, for us to know whether they are extorting or doing the right thing, and making sure that we also providing alternative livelihood for these people who are being moved out of the river bodies and the illegalities, making sure that in doing so, we also think of how we can mine responsibly by giving out mercury-free machines to miners to mine, making sure that beyond the mercury-free machines, how do we also empower and build local champions within the industry? How do we sanitize and not in a way criminalizing the mining regime, but making sure that yes, we have a component of people mining and appreciating what they do. Also signing 100 concessions, licenses, for people to go and mine, to be assigned.
Is it small scale or large scale mining?
Small scale.
Small scale.
Small scale.
100 licenses.
100. It has never happened before, because people were complaining that because of the frustrations that we go through in getting our licenses signed, that is why we go and mine. We take the law into our own hands. Okay, then let's retool the Inspector Division of the Minerals Commission. We've given them pickups, we've given them other logistics at the various districts, just to empower them to have a database of all mineable concessions. Get them to the district will feed the commission at the center, then we will comment to the minister for the minister to authorize. These are processes that we've gone through. We also consciously, in a way, getting the small-scale miners together to prioritize who and where a person is having a license or a concession, to kind of reward that person. So we're having small-scale mining awards night, just to encourage them to do the right thing, that the government is not against mining, we are for mining, but we are for responsible mining. These are gamut of measures we're taking as a ministry or as a government. And if we put this in place and we have the support of Ghanaians, I believe we'll go a long way in fighting this canker.
I thought when you put all of them together, I come to say that after putting all of these systems in place, we actually have done this to ensure that 80, 20, 30% of the work is
I will
done.
leave that one for you. I will leave that one for you to grade.
Okay, but if you're not going to go, let me explore some of the things you said. You said body cams. Why are they important? Why do we need body cameras for the people who are supposed to be on the water bodies fighting illegal mining?
We cannot pretend here that human beings are groomed and raised from the same neighborhood or even a family. Even a family, we may have individual differences. So there is a need to check one another, that you get on the job as assigned. So if you assign you to patrol here, how do we measure? I know that the person is still there.
Okay.
And it's a river. So if somebody is even in crisis, how do we get to know for the person to be attended to and all that?
Is it that I suspect that they'll be engaged in some form of corruption, which is a big deal?
We have the tenacity to fight corruption at all levels.
I'm asking whether the body cam is also supposed to contribute to that.
Obviously. Also to positively check what they do. If there's going to be a way of getting people paying bribes and all that, we curtail that. Because if the person knows that he has a uniform on him and he's being tracked and monitored, I think he will be careful naturally. So it's also a way of checking all that, so that we get the whole arrangement done well.
That's interesting. So how many of these water boats do we have?
As of now, we've been able to procure 5.
Just 5?
That are very robust. And I'm happy you said just 5.
It's not a small number.
No.
How many water bodies do we want to patrol?
We talking of about 6.
6 water bodies?
Yes, in number. The Naval Command have some already. We also have some with the military.
Okay.
So putting everything together, we may have about 20 in different shapes and forms. Now.
Okay, that's interesting. But is that enough to monitor all the water bodies?
It's not enough. So we are in the process of procuring more to, in a way, augment what we have.
Where are we at now with the procurement? Date, times?
We have to take our time in...
When do we expect these extra ones to come in?
In fact, I would love to say and tell Ghanaians that by next year, March, we should be able to, as a government, we should be able to be bold enough to tell Ghanaians that our river bodies are cleaned.
Next year, March?
Yes.
That's a deadline.
I can confidently, looking at the measures...
All of the water bodies?
I mean, I wouldn't say so, but the prominent ones, like Ofeng, like Pra, like Brim, the ones that we normally hear. You have the tributaries that join all along, and we need to check the streams that also join the river body. So we anticipating to have something to show to Ghanaians by March next year.
Brilliant. Now, one point that's important. They say there's a lot of cronyism in the issuance of these mining licenses. You said you have issued 100 of them. How many of them have gone to NPP, direct people who did not deserve them?
In fact, this same small-scale mining association that are there, we came to meet them.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't know their political affiliation, where they belong to and all that. And they assisted and supervised during the handing over ceremony of the license, and we handed over the licenses to them. As I sit here, I don't know a single person who even had the license, and it's between myself and my God. I'm being frank with you. The Minerals Commission just recommended these licenses, and when they do the recommendation, we assume that the district officers would have done their due diligence.
Okay. To
go to the region will do same, then get to the central point. Then they will move the recommendation, they will write on them that these are concessions that we've gone through, refined and deodorized for your authorization.
So you can say categorically that nobody got a license merely because the person belongs to the current government or is influential.
And you can go ahead to interview the small-scale miners. They will tell you that.
Are you saying that categorically?
They issued categorically.
Yeah.
Just straight cut. And look at my face and my eyes, and I'm telling you on authority, nothing went into it. We really followed the recommendations that were made by Minerals Commission and handed them over to the small-scale miners.
Are there politically exposed persons who have mining licenses in Ghana today?
You may have. You may have.
Do you know any of them?
I wouldn't want to. Yes, I may know some of them. I mean,
but that's important, right? The people have the right to know whether or not they are politically exposed persons.
Just recently, we had some machines bent.
Yeah,
you remember, and it happened that the company that those machines belong to, one of the officers or the shareholders of that company used to be my own party's women's organizer.
I see. It's not used to be Kate Jenfua, right?
Yes.
She's still women's organizer.
Yes.
So how many concessions does she have?
And I mean, legally, she had extra gold company. I mean, she was a shareholder, not. It wasn't for. But was the documents that we had before us. I mean, she wasn't even a shareholder. If I quite remember, I think one of the officers.
The burning of the excavators, that was legal, right? To your understanding?
You see?
Or illegal?
The burning of the excavators, as other countries and people are advising that we keep on burning excavators.
Contrary to law, you mean?
Like you have a river body.
Oh no, but you're a lawmaker.
I'm coming.
You cannot be justifying.
I'm going to answer. Don't worry.
In a law that you've not changed.
I'm going to answer your question and come back to the law. I'm coming back to the law.
Yeah.
I'm coming. If somebody targets a river body, divert the course of a river body, get the land bare, put chemicals like mercury to extract gold, and the river body get polluted and sought to kill 500 people, and it wouldn't be like a day's killing, it will be like gradual. I see it as treasonable offense as established or enshrined in our constitution. And do you know the kind of punishment that treasonable offense will profess on somebody committing that?
It is the capital offense, actually. So you can be hanged, killed, life imprisonment. I'm not disputing that, but the determination of whether something is a treasonable offense is not yours.
Thank you.
And you have a law that you follow. The offenses within the law are so clear.
I'm linking what the question you asked to the Constitution. My mind also know.
Yes, because you're a member of Parliament who actually passed the law. I was expecting that you would tell me that we have stopped this illegal act because we know it's illegal, and
it's not about the illegality aspect. It's about how to stop the illegalities in the system. So
you are using an illegality to stop an illegality.
No, why is it illegal? I mean, if somebody can quote where we faulted legally, or somebody takes one to court, we'll all be happy to appreciate where the legs of the
what does the Minerals and Mining Act say specifically about confiscated and mining equipment? When you get them, what should you do with them?
We don't have only this Act 703 governing mining or activities in Ghana. We have all other component regulations. We have regulations.
The regulations are below the Act. That's known for a fact.
The Act are below the Constitution.
Yes, but the Constitution doesn't say that when you get mining equipment.
I've cited some example to what will, in a way, call for an action to defend the souls of this country.
I get you, but do we still do burning of because recently the Shamfires, you didn't burn them, you actually confiscated them.
No, we burnt all of them.
You burnt all of them?
800 were burnt.
Really?
Shamfire 800 were burnt, actually burnt. And we will not relent if
you have to continue burning.
People will try to put the future of this country into kind of circumstances.
Has the burning worked?
That's a good question that you may ask.
I'm asking you now,
yes.
Has there been a way? Because obviously there are still places with champagnes as you did. You started burning before the 800 was actually recently gathered, right? It means that it's still happening. Don't you think it's the time for changing strategy?
That is why we need to come together as Ghanaians and fight our attitude. Because I do understand where people will, out of greed, will mobilize machines and put them on a river body just to destroy the lives of.
Is that what happened in K10's case?
I wouldn't say so.
But the machine was bent, right?
Yes, per the report that we had, the military realized that the river course had been diverted.
Yes. So the machine was bent?
And yes, some machines were bent.
So that means you suspected she was engaged in illegality, her company?
That is the suspicion, per the report that we received.
Was anybody arrested and prosecuted?
Yes, people were arrested.
Prosecuted?
People were arrested and sent to court. And I believe, you see, one thing...
What's the status of the case as we speak?
One thing that we have to understand, that as a ministry, we have our purview.
Certainly, you don't do prosecution. That's what I'm saying. I understand you. You don't do prosecution, but what is the status of the case? You should be interested.
People should not be putting blame on the ministry when matter of this nature get to court.
By the same
and
government,
some are
right?
billed.
It's the same government.
It's the same government. I wouldn't run away from that.
The Attorney General advises.
It's the same government, but it's not the same government, or the government. This government is not having authority on the determination of the judges or the judiciary.
So what happened to the people you put
solely an independent institution
in the K10 case?
When it gets to that level, we wash our hands.
So you don't know the status of that case?
I think we have a legal team here at the ministry. I'll get the details and
I'm
get
sure
you
if there was successful prosecution,
I will get
you would know. You'll be tasked.
I don't want to speculate on this matter.
Okay. I don't want to. So far as we speak, since you started the fight, the most renewed fight, how many people have been jailed, and I'm not saying prosecuted, have been jailed for engaging in illegal mining? Just recently, we jailed some Chinese. I want a complete figure. In the western region. In fact, I will get you the figure before you leave here. Some 8 people I know were on remand. Another 4 recently were also jailed. People have been jailed out of the what I'm asking for is when you put them together, compared to the people who are doing illegal mining today, how many have been jailed? As for the illegalities, there are many. Yes. And that is why the fight has been so Herculean on us. How many has been jailed? As for the jailing, I cannot, maybe I may get to the but how many have been put before ages. Court? Lots of them. The recent one that we embarked on, about 70 people arrested, and they are all before court. Any time we make any arrest, we put them before court. We don't just leave them. We make sure they are sent to court. Are there people, chiefs, powerful people who can actually go and plead that they are set free? My worry is, and that has been my bane, that we have foreigners involving themselves in this illegal mining our river bodies. They get to a community. We know that they are not farmers, they are not engineers, they are not teachers. We give them accommodation, without asking questions. And these people are accepted in communities by obviously chiefs, by opinion leaders. If we do assess some of these people and know that sort of work they do, it will help us to clamp some of these recalcitrant down. Are there any chiefs that own illegal mining rigs? Obviously, mining rigs. As in like Chamfine and all that. Are there any chiefs who are fueling, who are part of this illegal mining scam? Interestingly, when you get to the ground, you realize that most of the financiers cover their tracks. Really? Yes. So they are not political party big men. They are not deputy ministers like yourself. They are speculators. Really? You know, interesting thing. But you have been accused of also being part of the... Yeah, before... and yet you are in charge of that sector. Before I became the deputy minister responsible for mining on your show, people were, he's part of the Galamsey, you know. Yeah. So one time... What was your response? My response was that I have been talking about illegal mining. I have been talking of how
people must get to the level of even getting machines, some machines bent.
Do you have any concession?
I will answer you. Don't worry. Don't
because the way I was talking about mining equipment.
Don't rush.
No problem.
So I asked, galamsey is not done in a room. Neither is it done at a kitchen or in a kitchen or whatever. It's done openly. If I have concession, go there and burn the machines. If I'm burning someone's machine, why are you leaving mine? I mean, is it normal? If I'm having a concession, whether legal, I announced on your show, if it is even legal, go to my concession and burn the machines. Get that company out. Have you heard anyone coming out to say, oh, I went to his concession, this is concession? As for speculation, you can speculate. And I'm still challenging. I've been on, banning or making sure that we ban people, machines and all that. Making sure we fight these illegalities. I cannot just continue being tagged. Oh, he's a galamsey. As I speak with you.
Are you?
No, I have never mined before in my life, but I come from mining community. So when somebody is arrested,
is it Dumpim?
Yes, I'm from Dumpim.
But they do illegal mining in Dumpim.
They do illegal mining in all the mining communities.
In Dumpim, they do illegal mining.
I have recently.
But charity begins at home.
Yes.
You've not been able to fix illegal mining. Where you are from?
Since I became deputy minister,
yes.
Ask just recently, just about 2 weeks. You know, these situations are not permanent. I made sure that I organized the regional minister and the regional RESEC to go to my hometown, and because that place used to be a very rich, and then in gold. People, we had companies around, and Goldfields, even Anglo Gold runs through some of our.
So that's where you learned the mining itself. From
experience. That is born and bred.
That's where you trained as a miner yourself.
I've never mined
that's
before.
Where you got to know illegal mining.
As for this innuendos, you can tag me with. I don't have a problem. But what I'm telling Ghanaians is that I've never mined before.
So has illegal mining ended in your hometown?
Where?
Dumping.
It is not true. That is what I'm saying.
It's not happening?
No, if it happens, I'll get them arrested.
No, sorry. The question I'm asking, is it happening?
No.
To date,
no, I'm telling you.
When did they stop?
Just last 2 weeks, for example, the RESEC, as part of their commitment and support to the ministry, embarked on and said, oh, they got some team arrested from Dumping. They were put before court.
So it was happening just 2 weeks ago.
But you see, so you
not stopped illegal mining in your hometown.
But
because it was happening 2 weeks ago.
I am taking measures.
Oh, okay. Like it's happening all across the country, not only in your hometown.
I mean, we fighting together where there are. It could happen in my hometown, but we'll get down. That is my policy. And this small scale miners.
You can't speak to your own people not to do illegal mining, but you can convince the rest of us in this country that
60% of gold threshold that we produce in this country come from my constituency. You don't know about that? 60% of gold that we produce in this country. So obviously, you have
illegal mining is happening.
You have some of these issues here and there, but we have been able to reduce illegal mining in that constituency drastically. You can check. You can check. And the municipal chief executive has always been on the ground. The regional minister always on the ground, making sure that they are arrested. But I tell you, when you are a miner, those small scale miners, they know. Those who are miners, those who are not. Miners in this country, they know those who are miners. As for Mrikuduka being tagged, that one, it has never stopped because
you have not seen anybody that has accused you of it.
Oh, nobody will come.
If you dent my reputation this way, I will be interested in clearing my name in the proper forum.
I think nobody has even come
really
out
boldly made a claim.
They sometimes send messages as you're on air, asking, is a galamsey? You know, people I didn't get 100% in my constituency. Know that.
So you think it is those who voted against you?
In fact, galamseyers even fought me during I nearly lost my seat because of that. Galamseyers came together to fight me. If you just follow the result of Takwa,
now
you realize
yes,
I had to fight hard to safeguard my seat.
I thought it was the primaries rather that you struggled to.
No, the general election. No, I went on uncontested in the primaries.
Okay,
it was the general election. So you see, we need to situate the whole thinking well and come with fact. The people hiding, I mean,
I get you, but the
behind people
forest, Patahon forest, is there illegal mining happening there?
Patahon.
Yes.
I don't know of Patahon forest having the illegal miners, but just recently, those who were arrested by the RESEC.
Okay.
I was told they got them from Patahon. Patahon is down, you know, Bonsa, that area. It's on the Bonsa stretch to Benso. And I mean, I was told those who were arrested were from Patahon and all that.
Now, the status of that river, the Tano River, which illegal mining company is mining around that end?
Tano River.
Yes.
We don't have a kind of arrangement for any concessionaire to mine around a Tano River. So I wouldn't know. And Tano River stretches.
Is there illegal mining happening around the Tano River?
We clamping them, I mean, all illegal miners on the river bodies. So that one. Samra Boy. Is it illegal? Oh, you're talking of the recent one that we also on the social media between Samatex and what do you call it? Is it?
So because we are partially monitoring
mine or something,
we have evidence that there is active mining happening in these areas.
You see, I was saying it on air, one of your sister stations today, that mining in itself, most of the mining companies started from forests, belt or reserves. Most of like where Goldfields is used to be a forest zone, where Anglo Gold is used to be a forest zone. Newmont, same. Almost all the mining companies. Ghana, we have kind of arrangement of how we seed some of the reserves for mining activities.
Yeah.
So you'll be given a recognizance license, then you get a prospecting license, then you get a lease to mine and all that. So it's not like a no-go area in terms of forest reserves.
So we allow,
but there are other areas we've blocked as a ministry or as a government or as an institutional, established institution, not to mine. With what you are talking of, I'm told Samatex has permit to cut down timber from the forest. So, I mean, if you cut down a tree, are you still reserving the forest? I don't think so.
But they don't have that permission.
That is a question we need to. But they are saying they have permit.
But with respect, I'm asking you as the minister in charge of that sector.
I will come to that.
I'm asking because I want declarative statements like they do, they don't.
Don't
and
worry.
I know for a fact they do or they do not.
As for a minister, you don't need to speculate.
Yes, that's what I'm trying
your
to say. Your
statement must be factual.
Yeah.
I will come to that point. Don't worry. My point is, Samatex, as I'm told by the information we all saw on the social media, has a permit to cut down trees. Then another company says he's also been given a permit.
What's the name of this other company?
Akonta.
The Akonta mining company. Yeah. Who owns the company?
You see, some of these things, as a minister, I may not be able to say on air because
there's a mining company in this country.
Because I've not gotten.
Don't know.
Yes, I mean, I don't even know the owners of Goldfields. I don't. I know they are from South Africa, but I don't know the real.
This has been contentious.
When you go to
respect, this has been contentious.
Yes. Don't run. I mean, let's walk gradually. We'll get there.
Will you tell me the owner of Akonta Mining?
I wouldn't be able to tell you on air.
You don't know?
I wouldn't be able to.
Is the person a regional chairman?
Because we have put mechanisms in place to check all this and feed the ministry professionally and
so you've not
transparently.
Found out since all this controversy started?
When did it start?
I mean, it's been throughout last week. We've been hearing of this matter. And this week it's been very prominent.
Yes, so the week started, today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
We officially got a report from our officers on the ground. And the minister quickly set up a committee to investigate the matter. Okay. As I speak with you, officers are on the ground. They want to establish the facts and feed us with information that we can share with you in future. That if you ask me who is the owner, whether it is registered, whether it has a permit, whether Samatex has that permit, and all that, we will get those things established in due course.
Now, let me read to you the publication that it's on your website. It says the attention of the Minerals Commission has been drawn to a publication by the MP for Tamale North, Alasasuin, alleging that despite the ban on prospecting in forest reserves, there's a ban like that.
Yes.
Prospecting in forest reserves.
Yes.
So today we should not expect anybody to prospect in forest reserves.
You read, when you finish, I will tell you one or two things on that.
Okay. Now, it says here that the minister has granted, that's the accusation, that the minister has granted prospecting license to some companies to prospect in forest reserves. The said publication is false and should be disregarded by the public. Since assuming office, has not granted a single prospecting license to any company to take any exploration. Any person with a copy of such license should produce same. Contrary to the said publication, Vic Metco has no prospecting license granted by the minister. In the case of Akonta Mining, the company applied for a prospecting license, which is yet to be processed by the Minerals Commission. The company also applied for a forest entry permit to enter the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve. And it says here, no, the application must be processed subject to the Honorable Minister's Directive on Mining. The Forestry Commission letter does not constitute a forest entry permit. It says does not constitute a forest entry permit nor a prospecting license.
So the details are established in this. So as I was saying the same thing, that someone will be getting a recognizance license before applying for a prospecting license.
Okay.
And some of these licenses were issued before we assumed office. So, and a lifespan of a license could take like 5 years. So you may come to meet it. So the person obviously had recognizance to, in a way, see how things are before applying for the prospecting license.
Okay.
And that is why we getting all these documents. This one you say I have, another person says I do. So bring all of them together for the committee to assess. And it is obviously the commission that will do this assessment and get us briefed. So we waiting for the outcome of that. Then we can say, yes, you didn't have that permit to mine. As for prospecting or recognizance, you can say, yes, I was doing recce on the land and I was not mining. Okay. These are issues that can
be resolved. There's a question that I need to put it directly this way. Are you aware of any people in government or within the governing party who are into mining? You
officially,
mentioned National Women's Organization.
That's what has come to. That's what I know, what I can, because it came
How
up.
about the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP?
Who to me has never hidden his quest of mining, and has been, I mean, Ghanaians know that he's into mining.
Really?
Yes.
I'm asking you because I'm not asking what Ghanaians know. I'm asking what officially is on the record of the
in fact,
ministry.
Since I came, and since my assumption as the Deputy Minister responsible for mining, I've never gone through any document to support his name as the owner. In fact,
Hansol Mining.
Hansol. Hansol, I got to know Hansol before we even came to power. I think when Hansol had their machines, when their machines got bent and all that. Hansol, we all know is, but activities of Hansol recently has gone down, and
so apart from the two people that you just mentioned, is there any other person in government who's doing mining?
Raymond, if officially I see anyone, in fact, I'll be happy to see people, Ghanaians, being built in the mining industry, getting on.
That's not the answer to my question. The question was, are there people in government, apart from the two you referenced?
I've not seen anybody.
do you not know for a fact, or you've not seen?
I've not seen. I not known anybody openly, as my memory will serve me. If
as we speak, how many licenses have been given by this government for people to actually mine in forest areas? Reserves.
Since we came, we put a moratorium on licenses in the forest reserves. So we've not issued any license as far as forest reserves are concerned.
So we should not expect anybody, or anybody there should be operating with previous licenses.
You see, licenses are in different forms.
Yeah, I get your point.
So you may have previously may have gotten a license approved by, So we need to reconcile all that.
Now, the very understanding that we will fight and win this fight against illegal mining. Some people say at the core of it, because there's no political will to fight it properly.
What political will do you want to see?
Because we know what happened with the ANAS investigations. What happened to government implementing what came out of the ANAS investigations?
You see, investigations, sorry for my language, go beyond my authority.
Yeah.
And wouldn't say, yes, you did this, you did that, and you didn't do it well or that. It's for Ghanaians to assess. But as for the political zeal, we are in it for. You can see the commitment. I don't sleep. We working tirelessly, making sure we are everywhere. I mean, as I speak with you from here, I'm going to the Eastern region, meeting the RESEC, DISEX, meeting chiefs, meeting district mining committees that will set up for them also to be monitoring the activities in their various districts. We're making sure that we fight this battle. What is left is to carry everybody along, for us to accept that we need to fight this together. It's not government do it and let's see. And what even must be condemned is that demeanor and open declaration of other political, aspirants, making sure that they reassure Galamseyers that don't vote for this, vote for us, and we will allow you to do Galamsey. It tells them
that's happening.
It happened in 2020. In 2020, you have even
Which
people
candidate?
holding PhD.
Which candidate?
I don't want to.
I want specifics, because when you say that somebody is saying that, the person is basically going against our collective fight, and I want to know why that's happening.
Officials of the DEN, officials of NDC, coming out to say that, yes, vote for us in the forest. You saw the videos in the forest. Vote for us. As for us, we will let you do the Galamsey. That's what they say. Yes, it's in the video. You go. I can forward some to you and play on air alongside this show. Play for them Ghanaians to see. So if you have that, another political party telling Ghanaians that we will allow you to do the illegalities and you don't follow these people, it doesn't really sit well with people, because then you kind of motivate them to accept that Galamsey is not an illegal thing. It's something that they can just do it, and you are not allowing them. Let me also, coming from Takwa, let me say that Galamsey in itself, if you say Galamsey in Takwa, you mean mining. Illegal mining. No, they don't target as illegal mining. It's mining. But they call I get you. Generally they call mining as Galamsey. Yeah. And that is why, so sometimes they are worried when people call the illegal mining. So we need to find another way for illegal mining, because Galamsey means gather them and sell. And my grandma couldn't pronounce it well and say Galamsey, because you can. But if you don't have the permission to do that, that's illegal, that's right? An acronym, or like a coin name we've given to. Like how South Africa determined Zamazama. Okay. We call ours Galamsey. So I'm reiterating the point that this battle is not an event. It's not something that we can just say, oh, we fought it. There's no more illegal mining in the country. It will never happen. Since we started our fight, how much have we spent so far? You're going into the financials. That, I believe, in Parliament will say you need to file a question. You need to file a question means you need to take your time, go through the components. This is where we fought to. This is how much we spent, and I cannot sit here, obviously, Raymond.
But you have the data at the tip of your finger.
I need to get to my financial controllers to get all these details for me to really tell Ghanaians.
You are promising that by March of next year, our water bodies will get back to clean and proper status. Now, that promise, how much is required to fulfill it?
We need to ensure the Naval Command permanently patrols. We need to ensure the river guards patrol. We need to ensure that security posts are erected at vantage points. We need to ensure that we do sensitization tour to all the mining communities, let them understand the need to collectively get these miners, illegal miners, out of the river bodies. We need to be engaging and be asking questions and commit to. We need to get more speedboats to support the operations of these security agencies. We need to motivate the security agencies for them to understand that it's service to Mother Ghana. We need to consciously create alternative livelihoods for those who will be moved out of these river bodies. Otherwise, it will be also a security threat. We need to create more community mining schemes for people to get job to do, provide mining equipment. We need to assist people with geologists, mining engineers, minerals engineers, and all that. So I believe when we do that, we'll have something to show.
How much is required?
Just let me give you a typical example. Last year, the anticipated budget that we had, we started a fight. We realized that people were getting here, people were getting there. We had to mobilize the operation hall too, and had to wait for the media to appeal to the finance ministry and parliament to, in a way, support us with more resources to get the fight. Sometimes it gets weightier and may need much resources, but we have the commitment of the president.
You've not mentioned the amount.
As for amount, I don't know why you are so
What was your budget for fighting illegal mining this year?
I don't know. I am not a finance person.
No, but I want to know how much you dedicated to it so that we know whether that's even enough to yield the results that we want.
What I think must be interested to you and Ghanaians is the assurance of getting our river bodies.
We've had assurances before.
Yes, you've not had those assurances from me and my minister. What I'm telling you on behalf of the minister, the sector minister, Honorable Samuel A. Jinapo, and my good self, is that by March next year, we'll have something to show to Ghanaians in terms of getting our river bodies cleaned.
Now, that's interesting. So if March comes and it's not done, would you resign?
I'm working.
That's the honorable thing to do, right?
Oh, you see, it's not life and death. Ghanaians know and appreciate when you work hard. They know. It's not you even talking about that.
Yeah, but the question I'm asking you is simple. Would you resign? Would you do the honorable thing?
I will make sure that I support my country to protect the river bodies, and by March, I'll have something to show Ghanaians.
Honorable, we surely will hold you to your word about what happens in March and the other things you said is currently happening to try and fix this once and for all. But thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of UPfront.
A pleasure, Raymond. Though you've pinned me, but I appreciate it. I mean, that's how we can serve this country.
Folks, that's where we end today's edition of UPfront. Many thanks to you for watching.